Now I sit by my window and I watch the cars. I fear I'll do some damage one fine day. But I would not be convicted by a jury of my peers. Still crazy after all these years. Paul Simon. And that is the name of the song, Still Crazy after all these years. You know the line on the line that you're going to hear when they interview the person, the neighbor. You know pretty much what's going to come out of the neighbor's mouth. He was a quiet person. You know, he kept to himself. He minded his own business. All good. Yeah, no. Yeah, as I recall, he didn't get out much. No. Just sort of kept to himself. I don't recall ever seeing hardly any visitors, maybe one every now and then. I guess maybe somebody should have seen it coming. We all know how that plays out. How many times have we heard that? Here's an expression you haven't heard in a while, going postal. It's now been replaced with active shooter. Arose by any other name. I know a man who has chosen to isolate himself. He was a good friend. He still is my friend. I call him friend. But I fear that I have lost him, as have others, maybe even his own flesh and blood, his own brother. I fear he has been lost to all of us. I have chosen to be alone over this last year, especially so, in light of COVID and everything else. Just the general disdain or distaste for the daily goings on, having to do them under these conditions, with this not available or that not on time, or this isn't, yada yada yada. But as I've said in other tracks, I'll gently remind you that even though I dwell alone here, in my heart, in my soul, I am not alone. I am never alone. And I always kind of straw man analogy, not that even, I need a straw man analogy for a straw man analogy. Okay. Wherever he laid his hat was his home. And when he died, all he left us was alone. And there's a double entendre there. That one's gone back and forth. Papa was a Rolling Stone. Oops. Sly and the Family Stone? Oops, sorry. And that's how I feel as I plod, walk this earth. As the ground now gets more hostile to the bottom of my feet, to the bottoms of my feetsies. It seems that the ground seems to weigh more. But, and there's the but. They say They, right? I love that. They say that if you think you're crazy, you're probably not. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I'm not so sure I'm sold down the river on that one. Because there have been a lot of smart, crazy criminals, man. Kept the police jumping for months and months, like Son of Sam and Unabomber, and, you know, et al. Timothy McVeigh. Yes, I had to reach for that. Blew up the. I want to say I stood right in front of that building. Not on that day, thank God. I was in Oklahoma City for a while. Yeah. These aren't dumb people. I don't know, the Berkowitz guy, I don't know, maybe, I don't know much about his persona, but this Timothy McVeigh, this Unabomber, these were some scheming mofos. These were intelligent men. So, you can't tell me it didn't run across Ted Kaczynski's? Is that the Unabomber? You can't tell me it didn't run across his mind at least once. It's like, am I fucking nuts here? Yeah, I think I am, but I'm on a mission. What I said before, as I've quoted Spock from Star Trek, when he says to Jim, he got to call him Jim, he didn't call him Captain. Jim. I think they were lovers, actually. The characters, Spock and James Tiberius Kirk. Oh, I have just hurt some people now. I know I have. I think they were, you know what I mean? I think they were taking and receiving, okay, and giving. You know what I'm trying to say? At both ends. You know what I'm trying to say? Jim, madness may not have a purpose, but it has a goal. So, with that, I believe I can challenge that cliche or that maxim. If you think you might be crazy, you're probably not. I think that's where you call, a third party, an intervention of some kind. And if you're in question about it, maybe like I've talked about before, like nothing wrong with professional. I've sat in a whole bunch of professionals' chairs. Learned a lot. It was very constructive. I learned a lot about how to survive by playing off of other people with these psychiatrists. I learned how to say the right things better, quicker, faster. Ooh, I just convicted myself, God daddy. I never really even thought about that before. Yeah, I did, didn't I? So what am I saying here? What's the reason for this post? I sit in my kitchen alone, and I can see outside of the box. By the time Timothy McVeigh detonated that improvised device in Oklahoma City, the box that he was in had no borders.